Okay, I'm going to call the Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 regular session of council to order at 6 p.m. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Dunman,
Yes, here.
Ms. Gersh, Mrs. Griora. Here. Mr. Moran. Are we adding Mr. Krukowski before I swearing in?
Sure.
Mr. Krukowski.
Here. Okay, we all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We are now going to perform the swearing in of our newest council person at large. So I'm going to have you meet me up. Do solemnly swear. I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States. I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States. The Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio. Constitution and the laws of the state of Ohio. The ordinances, resolutions, and laws of the village of Beaver Heights and the laws of the village of Beaver Heights. That will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge my duties as council person at large. Discharge my duties and as council person at large, for the village of Beaver Heights, Ohio. The village of Beaver Heights, Ohio, to which I have been appointed, to the best of my ability. Yeah, mine. Did it in a mailbox? Oh, you mean one more? That's out in your head.
Well, I'm thinking this one, mine is still in draft, doesn't sound good.
Okay, thank you for time, good and welfare. Mr. Dunman, you had an item for good and welfare?
Mayor,
Okay,
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to excuse Councilman Moran from tonight's meeting.
Second.
all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Mr. Moran has been excused. You take a moment now to have a moment of silence to honor and for the passing of Councilwoman Doreen Cray, as well as resident Carol Slonin, who have both passed. We could just take a quick moment of silence. Thank you. Please.
I'm Michelle Guerrero. For those who don't know me, I had the privilege of being at Doreen's wake and celebration of life. Her family asked me to share something at this meeting, and I said that I would. Doreen, for most of you know, was a double transplant recipient. She got a heart and a kidney. Her dying wish, literally the day that she died, she looked up to her sister and said, "Please donate my eyes." And that was done. That's all.
Thank you. Any other good and welfare? Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us this evening. And with that, can I have a motion to enter executive session for the discussion of personnel issues to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, as well as pending and potential litigation and property acquisitions if needed.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh. Yes. Mrs. Griora.
Yes.
Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
Okay, we are in executive session. We're going to move to the conference room. We'll be back as quickly as we can be.
See you all later.
Somebody call.
Yeah.
Have a motion to resume regular session?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Please call the roll.
Mr. Dunman,
Yes.
Ms. Gersh, Mrs. Griora,
Yes.
Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
Okay, regular session to council is called to order at 7:21. Thank you for your patience. Can I have a motion to approve the December 2nd, 2025 regular session of council meeting minutes?
So moved.
Can I finish?
Oh, sure.
As well as the December 30th, 2025 special session of council meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting minutes are approved. Moving on to legislation. Council, I have, council has before you ordinance 2026-01 presented for suspension of rules and adoption. Clerk, will you please read the ordinance?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District for performance of services to assist NPDES and MS4 permit compliance and declaring an emergency.
Mayor, I have a question.
Please.
Is that we talked a couple meetings ago about not placing things on emergency if they didn't have to be. Does this have to be on emergency?
So the issue that we have is that the timing that we are provided with so much of some of this stuff that we have to do from the other agencies in the state and the county, they don't give us the runway of 90 days to get to read things 3 times. And this is an example of that. They probably gave us 30 days, maybe 45 at most.
Mayor, I move that ordinance 2026-01 be adopted and that 2026-01 be placed on its first, second, and final reading for immediate passage. Second.
Please call the roll. Please call the roll for suspension of rules.
Mr. Dunman,
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yeah.
Mrs. Griora, Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
Please call the roll to adopt.
Mr. Dunman,
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Griora. Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-01 is presented for adopted, excuse me. Council has before them ordinance 2026-02 presented for suspension of rules and adoption. Clerk, will you please read the ordinance?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Cuyahoga County Board of Health for Phase 2 stormwater management services and declaring an emergency.
I'm assuming the same.
Same exact situation.
Mayor, I move that ordinance 2026-2 be adopted, rules suspended, and that ordinance 2026-2 be placed on its first, second, and final reading for immediate passage. Second.
Please call the roll for suspension of rules.
Mr. Dunman,
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yeah.
Mrs. Griora,
Yes.
Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
Please call the roll to adopt.
Mr. Dunman,
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yeah.
Mrs. Griora,
Yes.
Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-2 is adopted. Council has before them resolution 26-01. Council, if you like, you could certainly read this on first reading.
Okay.
Okay,
Bill?
clerk, you please read the resolution.
A resolution accepting the donation from Trevor K. Elkins to the Village of Newburgh Heights and declaring an emergency.
26-01 be adopted, rules suspended, and that 26-01 be placed on its first, second, and final reading for immediate passage. Second.
Please call the roll for suspension of rules.
Mr. Dunman,
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Griora,
Yes.
Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
Please call the roll to adopt.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Griora,
Yes.
Mr. Kirkowski.
Yes.
So the public, in case the public is curious, what this was for is I personally donated the cost and expense of the employee Christmas party that was paid for by me. Council has before them resolution 26-02 presented for suspension of rules and adoption. Clerk, will you please read the resolution?
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Cleveland, permitting protective services officers to carry firearms on city of Cleveland-owned property located in Newburgh Heights and declaring an emergency.
Mayor, I have a question for Chief. Chief, can you tell me, I'm not really sure I understand what a protective services officer is.
These are essentially the same as a deputy sheriff. They just are protective services. are like, if you ever go to the county building, they're the ones that are like they scan folks coming in, they screen folks. They're situated at a number of county offices and Cleveland offices. And so that's what these folks would do. So I have no issue with this at all.
Mayor, I move that resolution 2602 be adopted, rules suspended, and that resolution 2602 be placed on its first, second, and final reading for immediate passage. Second.
Please call the roll for suspension of rules.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Grayorah,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Please call the roll to adopt.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Grayorah,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Resolution 26-02 is adopted. Council, if it could, I'd like to add resolution 26-03 on suspension of rules. It is accepting a donation from First Tee of Cleveland. Is there any objection to adding it to the agenda?
None.
Okay. Council has before them resolution 26-03 presented for suspension of rules and adoption. Clerk, please read the resolution.
A resolution accepting and sincerely thanking the First Tee of Cleveland for the donation to the Village of Newburgh Heights and declaring an emergency.
Mayor, I move that 26-03 be adopted, rules suspended, and that 2603 be placed on its first, second, and final reading for immediate adoption.
Please call the roll for suspension of rules.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Grayorah,
Yes.
Mr. Krakowski.
Yes.
Please call the roll to adopt.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Grayorah,
Yes.
Mr. Krakowski.
Yes.
Resolution 26-03 is adopted. Council has before them payroll resolutions 4681, 4682, and 4683 presented for suspension of rules and adoption. Clerk, will you please read the resolutions?
Payroll Resolution 4681, November 2025 disbursements. A resolution authorizing and directing the payment of certain bills. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Newburgh Heights of Ohio that the following bills be paid and the same are hereby approved. And the fiscal officer and mayor are hereby respectfully authorized to draw their warrants unchecked for payment of said bills as set forth on the following pages in the total amount of $626,415.47 and declaring an emergency. Payroll Resolution 4682, a resolution authorizing and directing the payment of certain bills. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Newburgh Heights of Ohio that the following bills be paid and the same are hereby approved. And the fiscal officer and mayor are hereby respectfully authorized to draw their warrants and checks for payment of said bills as set forth on the following pages in the total amount of $109,955.07 and declaring an emergency. Payroll Resolution 4683, a resolution authorizing and directing the payment of certain bills. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Newburgh Heights of Ohio that the following bills be paid and the same are hereby approved. And the fiscal officer and mayor are hereby respectfully authorized to draw their warrants and checks for payment of said bills as set forth on the following pages on the total amount of $114,651.23 and declaring an emergency.
Mayor, I move that payroll resolution, I turned my page. 4681, 4682, and 4683 be adopted, rules suspended, and that payroll resolutions 4681, 4682, 4683 be placed on their first, second, and final reading for immediate passage. Second.
Please call the roll for suspension of rules.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Grayorah,
Yes.
Mr. Krakowski.
Yes.
Please call the roll to adopt.
Mr. Dunman.
Yes.
Ms. Gersh.
Yes.
Mrs. Grayorah,
Yes.
Mr. Krakowski.
Yes.
Thank you. That is it for legislation this evening. Moving on to reports, Councilman Dunman, the floor is yours.
Thanks,
You. Councilwoman Gersh,
I have nothing at this time.
Councilwoman Grayorah.
I had a question, Mayor, about the dog park. Where are we?
Once the weather is clear and we know the ground is stable, we will be able to get, are you referring to the damaged pavilion?
That and the application for the water.
Okay, so that is, nothing's changed in the application for water. I will reconvene with the service department on that issue. And then as far as the the removal of the equipment, we can't, the collapsed canopy rather, we can't get that cleaned up until the ground is stable and we can get a truck on there. That's really the only issue. Until then, they'll remain fenced off until they're able to do that.
In Ms. Schickler's absence, do we have an update on the new business that appears to have moved in across from Village Hall, Cooper Container?
Yeah, so it appears that the Cooper Container is moving in across the street in violation of both Newburgh Heights' as well as Cuyahoga Heights' ordinances. They have started the enforcement action, or the compliance action, I should say, on those, meaning, permitting, whether it's legal, whether it's not, that kind of thing. And they are working together to determine whether or not that is a permissible use for that property. So that is in the works.
They just moved in.
Yeah,
Didn't have a,
didn't tell anybody. They literally did it over a weekend. They put the signs on the fence and put all the containers in there.
signs even legal?
Well, that's all what's being researched. Yep, we're all working on it. Yep.
oh, wow. Okay. I also just wanted to say something to the residents. I had an email from the Cuyahoga County Dog Warden that says, everyone, please remember to get your dog license. It goes till January 31st. That's when they renew most of the licenses. So I'd like to make sure that folks were aware of that. To my colleagues on council, the rules of council are almost finished. I will have them for the February meeting, as well as the council committees. And the Marys who were in the back, Mayor, and this is being taped, so if you could answer this, they had asked about a crosswalk in front of the dog park. I said I would get with the mayor, and I missed it, so it's coming up now.
Yeah, it has been discussed in the past. The issue right now, and frankly, is there are a couple. One being, first being financing, second being the determination of whether or not the final determination whether any parking spots are going to be cut into that tree lawn there on both sides of the street by the dog park. So all of those things are still being factored, but it has been discussed previously. I personally am in concurrence that there needs to be a crosswalk there, but there are some decisions that have to be made, including spending money on it.
I'm going to cross this off my list, and thank you very much. Appreciate that. I have nothing further. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Kirkowski, the floor is yours if you have anything. Thank you. Okay. Some good news. The county did apply for, and I might be stealing a little Jim's thunder here, but the village did apply for preventive maintenance reimbursement grant. And we received a grant of $60,000 for work on Harvard and $12,500 for work on 49th. That is essentially reimbursement of like asphalt and things like that. It's not the cost of actually doing the work, which, by the way, ends up being by far the highest, most expensive part of any project. But we did get a grant for $72,500 for that. Are there any general questions from council or questions in general about where we are? We're still working toward putting together a budget for you for 2026. We are operating right now under the temporary appropriations ordinance budget. Having some technical difficulties, actually. We're trying to officially close the year in the software. We had so we've got a IT ticket into our software provider to get the glitch fixed so we can officially close the year. But otherwise, I think we're about done there.
What was the second grant for? The 12,000?
East 49th. Yep. Any questions for me?
Mayor, I just wanted to ask if anyone on council has been getting concerns about Rumpke.
Yeah, there actually have been a couple concerns about Rumpke since they first started. One of those being they're a little sloppy with how they reset the garbage cans after they pick them up. I know that Mr. Bissler has addressed that issue with them. I think I responded to council's concern about that. So that is being worked on. there was some confusion on a couple of properties as to were they supposed to have cans, were they not supposed to have cans? I believe those have been resolved. And we will continue to address issues. Please let us know via email. We got a couple great emails from council members over the weekend. So yeah, those are helpful. And we'll keep working on it. But
We schedule like every holiday. I got probably 5 or 6 calls. Are they picking up?
yeah, it's on their website. And it was in the flyer that we distributed to every household. That is also on the village Facebook page. So it is there.
Thank you.
Yep. Kathleen, the floor is yours.
Council has a little pile of reports from me, from my office. We'll start with the year-end December 2025 RETA report. There's some red there on December, but the good news is for the year, we received $1,289,864.16, which was an increase of $67,000 or $559.75 or 5.53% for the year. We got a nice bonus in January of 2026 from RETA, not a bonus, but just that some good revenue came through. We received $125,465.37, which was an increase of 1.07% or $1,325.06 over January of 2025. Questions from council on that one? All right. So the November 2025 fund cash report. General fund receipts in November of 2025 were $692,991.13. General fund disbursements in November 2025 were $259,266.90. And the unexpended balance in the general fund in November 2025 was $304,820.10. All funds receipts in November 2025 were $829,673.83. All funds disbursements in November 2025 were $626,415.47. And the all funds unexpended balance for November 2025 was $712,435.44. Kind of old news at this point in 2026 to be talking about that, but that is the report. As the mayor said, we're working through getting the software hiccup fixed so I can get that call done, issue some 1099s, and then get back to actual work. Questions, comments? All right.
I would like, maybe I missed it because I was reading something else. Could the increase be part of the letters that were sent by RETA to the residents who perhaps forgot to pay their taxes?
There's a couple things in play. I think probably businesses would have paid net profit taxes for the quarter in December of 2025. And then just the way payroll kind of lined up as well. It may have also been the letters that were sent out. Yes, just reminding people you forgot to file, you owe us. Gentle reminder. That's all I have. Thank you.
Chief Bejoy.
I do not have anything at this time. Thank you.
Council. Chief Higgs.
Yeah, I have a couple items. The legislation for the lift system and the cot that we won for the BWC safety grant. The equipment was ordered. We received the money from BWC. That equipment, the lift system and the new cot will be delivered on next Monday. And then it'll be that lift system and the new cot will go down to Burgess Ambulance on Wednesday to get installed. And we should have that up and running by the end of next week, training on our new lift system. So that's coming in, which is a great thing. The other thing I'll do is I want to recognize Mike Tusai. He's leaving our department. He was one of the firefighters that came here when we transitioned from part-time to full-time. He's been here with us for about 4.5 years. He's been hired away to go to Brecksville. I want to thank him for everything he's done for us and and helping us during this transition period. Anytime I need him, he said he will come in and help me with all the transition stuff on all the software. So I want to reach out and thank to him for everything he's done for the department and our transition from when we left from part-time to full-time and everything that's going on now with the transition we're going through as well. And unless anyone has questions for me.
I do. I noticed the yellow engine riding around. Did I miss a notice or something? Where's our engine?
So our engine went out on November 10th. It had a lot of issues that had to get resolved. We're waiting on parts from, the engine is 18 years old. Parts that we need for the truck have been ordered, and we're waiting on parts so I can get it back up and running. Luckily, we have a good mutual aid agreement with Valley View. I've worked well with the chief of Valley View and using their engine. It's going to be another 3 or 4 weeks, it looks like, before we'll get our engine back, waiting on parts.
Thank you. I didn't miss anything. It's just been a minute.
Correct.
I'm glad to say that I haven't seen the engine in the village.
Chief, I was going to piggyback on Mr. Dunman. I had the same question. I review all my minutes from the year before to see how many things I've missed. And I had, we approved $18,000. I thought that was just for the exhaust system.
No,
Am
no.
I mistaken?
You are mistaken. That was for everything that needed to be done on the engine. I had a quotes done and we didn't send it out till November. Obviously because of the financial that Mayor I would have sent out earlier, but Mayor had asked me to put it off until then. So we didn't order anything that we needed for that. So that estimate was from them looking at the engine, giving me an estimate. And then when we got into it, some of the stuff couldn't be repaired. So like the primer motor couldn't be repaired. It has to be replaced. It's on the pump. It's 18 years old. They're making a new primer motor for the pump. So as again, we have some issues that, again, that $18,000, that was what you guys had approved. And that's still what I'm working on. I'm meeting with him on Thursday to go over the status. If maybe we can put it back in service and wait on the parts. I'm going to find that out on Thursday.
I'm sorry. I actually thought it was an accident where the muffler got ripped off. That's not what this is.
So the muffler is part of the process. Yes, the muffler
okay.
got damaged, but it's not $18,000. It isn't just for the muffler.
Okay.
We had a rock hit the windshield and shattered, or put a
man.
huge crack in the windshield, which got replaced, which again, the engine was 18 years old. It had to get molded. So they had to make a glass, because the way the windshield's made, it had to get made. It wasn't one that you could buy off the shelf. So that got installed. That's been done. So I've been waiting on stuff that got ordered and then waiting for it to get delivered so we can get it into the truck and get it back.
Is that old for a truck, 18 years, fire truck?
So normally fire trucks, their life expectancy is 25 years. So I've had discussions with the mayor. In fact, I've had discussions with Councilman Dunman as well. I'll tell you right now, most of the cities, because over the past 5 years, the cost of a fire apparatus has gone skyrocketing. In fact, the United States Senate is looking into, I don't know what you want to call it, price fixing or whatever you want to call it. They went from making fire apparatus back in 2020 at 600,000 to now, if you order an engine, which is 3 years away, like if I ordered an engine today, I would not get it for 3.5 to 4 years. And the estimated cost right now is $1 million. Again, I've been staying on top of it. So I've been looking into ways that we could, sell this engine and get it up. It's too far out. Eventually we're going to have to look at it. But again, for our ISO inspection and I've let the mayor know, up until this year, I've been able to insure the apparatus that if it got hit, they would replace our apparatus. Meaning if the truck got hit on the freeway and got totaled, they would have to buy us a whole brand new engine. Because they're now $1 million, they said, no, we're no longer can insure our apparatus starting April of this year. They're going to insure it for roughly $75,000. That's it. And because they say that's what the apparatus is now worth to replace. So no longer am I going to get replacement costs for the engine, which means if it got damaged, by having the replacement costs, it forced them to fix the engine we have. Now, a lot of cities are running into the same problem. If an engine gets hit or gets damaged, they're going to look at how much it's going to cost to fix, and they might just write it off. Again, I'm hoping it never happens, but will, down the road, I've looked into what other cities have done. Most of them are doing a lease option to buy in a 7-year lease, averaging about $125,000 a year to $150,000 a year payment. That's what we'll be faced in about 7 years, because the life expectancy for the standard and for ISO ratings is 25 years.
What's the mileage on that vehicle?
Oh, it doesn't have that much. It's in good, what I mean is it's in good shape, other than, here's the problem. The problem is I got electronics from 18 years ago. Like if I ordered a new engine, or if we have an electrical issue go out on it, that's what the cost is going to be. Like the emergency lights they're not LEDs, they're the old bulbs and stuff that we have on the apparatus. So again, as we go through the process, as we continue to use it, we might run into those problems down the road where we have an electrical issue and we have to make a decision how we're going to either get it fixed or get it upgraded. So that could be cost down the road. But again, I don't think council's ready for $1 million fire truck bill coming in, or a lease option to buy that's why I haven't proposed it at $150,000 a year. Not yet.
Anything further for Chief Higgs? Okay. You have Ms. Schickler's report. She is on vacation. Right. So we met with a developer about potentially building new properties. We're not yet ready to provide much more detail, other than we have met with a home builder. They presented us with a basic general floor plan, and their desire is to probably build 5 new homes per year in the village for the next 5 years. Not at this time.
I have a question for Mr. Cicero. I'm just now sharing. It seems like this kind of just stopped. There's a notation on our building report that says we work with the estate to ensure, and then it just stops.
So the record's clear, but the council member is talking about 4048 Washington Park Boulevard, where it says an executor has been appointed to the estate and appraisal has been conducted of the property. We will continue to work with the estate to ensure full compliance with the building and housing codes of the village.
It was just a typo. Thank you.
Anything further on the building department report? Mr. Sickles.
Council has my report. Excuse me. The most active project at the moment are Beta Avenue and Gamma Avenue. Beta is a sewer replacement or sewer separation project. Gamma is a water main replacement and a repaving project. Both of those are beginning to bid. They've been advertised for 4 bids. We probably won't have results back until about the March meeting for council consideration. The other item that we are currently working on is we received CDBG money, $150,000 to resurface East 52nd Street. I'll be getting a proposal before council. I don't know if it'll hit the next meeting, one of the next couple of meetings, to start the engineering process of that. That's all I have. Any questions?
Questions for Mr. Sickles?
None.
Mr. Bissler, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. The council has received my report. However, I'd like to take a moment to thank my coworkers for their hard work and dedication during the recent snow events. Their efforts are truly appreciated. I'd also like to take note to concern regarding the trash and recycling totes being placed in the street by residents. The totes are technically supposed to be in the tree lawns, not in the roadways. You know, I know it comes to be difficult when there's cars parked in the street. But keep in mind, when we're trying to do our job by keeping the roads cleared of snow, it's hard for us to do that from curb to curb when there's trash carts in the middle of the road. Per Rumpke guidelines, totes are to be placed in the tree lawn rather than in the roadway. It's neither feasible nor is it safe for our plow drivers to stop and move the totes out of the way. You know, the proper tote replacement is essential to maintaining a safe and efficient snow operation. If there's no other questions, that's all I have at this time.
Any questions?
What's Elkins Island?
Uh,
Which
that-
one is that?
That would be the one up here on Harvard.
By the speedway?
Correct.
Elkins Island, I never heard it called that. No, I.
I don't know why it's called that.
That's hilarious. Helmet Island?
Mr. Bissler, would it be all right for the folks to put if they can't get to the tree lawn, I imagine if there's a car parked there, they're not gonna be able to get to the cans. Can't they just put them on their apron?
Yeah, on the apron would be probably best suited if there is a vehicle parked on the curb.
Any additional questions? Okay, moving on to purchases and approvals. Council has before them, can we have a motion for the approval of the November 2025 fund to cash report?
So moved?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for the approval to apply for the 2026 Cuyahoga County
Department of Development.
Department of Development Access and Physical Space Grant and the amount of $10,000?
So,
Please.
Are there any matching funds required for that?
no, Mr. Dunman, this is the same one we applied for and got last year. There are no matching funds.
Thank you.
So moved? Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Council has before them a motion for a request for the approval of an annual 3% increase for a part-time payroll clerk salary effective the first payroll period following each employment anniversary. So council knows, when we updated all the payroll ordinances, they were all updated to have annual 3% increases. This was simply an oversight, and this is just cleaning up and making Janet's ordinance consistent with everybody else's. That's all this is. Any questions other than that?
So moved? Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Council has before them a motion for the approval, the appointment of John Draves to full-time firefighter for the Newburgh Heights Fire Department.
So moved? Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Council has before them a motion for the approval of the appointment of Paul Behrens to part-time patrolman for Newburgh Heights Police Officer. Chief, if I'm correct, he's going to be a bailiff in the mayor's court.
Correct. That'll be his only assignment.
Yep.
So moved? Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Council has before them, just so council is aware, both of the villages' photo enforcement prosecutors in the Garfield Mayor's Court have submitted their notice. They both have their private practices and other employment situations have kind of gotten too busy, so they need to let that go. So we have identified 2 additional candidates that qualify. The first candidate is a gentleman named John Montello, who actually does this as well for the village of Walton Hills. So he's already got experience in the Garfield Heights Court doing this. And then James Marinella, who is the former magistrate in the city of North Royalton, I believe.
Right.
So they both have experience in courts and mayor's courts and municipal courts. We haven't met with law, like the magistrates since I've been back, and I don't know what you were doing before that. What's rude about it? I don't understand what was rude about that. We haven't done it since I've been back, and I don't know what you were doing in the 2 years I was out. Can I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of John Montello as photo enforcement prosecutor at a rate of $18,000 per year, plus the village's share of contributions to the public employee retirement system with a 3% increase upon each employment anniversary.
So moved. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Council has before them the motion for the approval of the appointment of James Marinella as photo enforcement prosecutor at a rate of $18,000 per year, plus the village share of contributions to the public employee retirement system with a 3% increase upon each employment anniversary.
So moved.
Is there a second? Moving to second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Council has before them the approval of the appointment of Lynn Schaefer as a full-time patrol officer for the Village of Newburgh Heights Police Department.
So moved. Second.
Moved in second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Council, do you have any motions or approvals? Additional, okay.
No, but I would like to make a note. I should have probably said something earlier. The grant, if we get it, I have ramps that I'm working with Mr. Bisler on getting, because the equipment that we bought last year for the park, if a person is mobility impaired, they can't get to the swings, so we need ramping. And the
Which park?
Kathy Edwards Park, and I believe that we could use one at the other park. But Mr. Bisler assured me that when the snow events calm down a little bit, he would be able to provide more help with this. And we're going to either ramp and also the picnic table, to the picnic table. He said he could help with that. So we're going to do part of the grant if we need to at the Brow Avenue Park, and part of the grant if we receive it at Kathy Edwards Park, with council's pleasure.
Thank you. Portion of the meeting, we open the floor to the public for comment. We simply ask that you direct your comments to either myself or a member of council, and that they pertain to a village topic. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes. If I need to bring in a department head to help answer some of the questions, I'll be happy to do that. Are there any questions or comments from the floor? Okay. Hearing none, I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved in second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting adjourned at 7:58 PM.